fourth Hungarian round, the first at this Balaton Park circuit. Getting underway, a good start from Toprak Razgatlioglu. Not a good one at all for Sam Lowe's. He's swallowed up by Andrea Locatelli in the run to the first turn. Lowe's then getting back to the inside to defend position, but Nicolo Bulliger gets around him. They'll be side by side now on the change of direction through turn 2. And a 3-rider pile-up. Andrea Ionone's involved, and then a 4-rider pile-up behind as they all slow down to try and avoid that. That's a big multi-rider incident on lap number 1. Through the change of direction, turns 1 to 2, and a big pinch point on this opening lap.
Yeah, it's Gerloff, you can see there on the curb, and it looked like we also had Remy Gardner in there as well, so lots of riders. That'd be a red flag for sure.
Yeah, red flag now confirmed. I think Jari Montella and Ryan Vickers, as well as Axel Bassani, they were some of the riders who started a little bit further back, who were caught up in that melee. Let's have another look at the start here, Steve. The first few riders getting away okay. It wasn't a good start for Sam Lowe's, was it? And then he's going to the inside and everyone else bottling up behind him into the first bend.
See, Petrucci into 1, gets himself unsettled, trying to come back at the 2 Aruba bikes. Just keep an eye on Petrucci through in towards turn 2, because you've got Lecone on the outside. There's contact there that pushes Iannone into Petrucci, it looks like. And then Lecone is the unlucky rider there. Was
Iannone out of shape before touching, or...?
We'll get a better view of it here from him, and yeah, well...
Or does he get a clip from behind, the Honda perhaps behind?
Possibly, but it looks also like he's just gone in maybe a bit too hot there, and it's just so close into that section. We'll see if we can see a little bit of contact maybe with the Honda. There's a bit of contact there between Johnny and Javi Vierge, so maybe it just pushes them all in together there, and it's just unfortunate too many bikes trying to get through that one area of the track.
Yeah, if 3 into 1 doesn't go, then 7 into 1 certainly doesn't go. Let's watch an onboard. This is going to be frightful.
Just keep an eye on the right-hand side, and yeah, you can see there Petrucci just collected from behind, and Javi and Iker Lecone then very unlucky to be on the outside and caught out in that.
Un semimanubrio nuovo? Perché sempre... in el segundo cajón.
20 laps now for a restart. Race 1 of this 2025 Hungarian round. Another slow start from Sam Lowe's. Bautista with another good one. Goes straight to the outside again on Nicolo Bulliger. Bulliger pinched in the middle of Sam Lowe's and Alvaro Bautista. They're a little bit more tentative, all of them this time around. Not Jonathan Ray, though. He's surging through the field and splitting the 2 Aruba Ducatis here on the opening lap. So that's Jonathan Ray up from to 5th position now. Behind him, Xavi Vierge making his way through to 7th, head of Alex Lowe's. Andrea Iannone 9th early on, and obviously a reduced field of riders with Tito Rabat stranded out at the back. Toprak Razgatlioglu then breaking away. Locatelli in 2nd position, smoking as he brakes heavily for turn 5. Sam Lowe's right behind him, and Alvaro Bautista jumping his teammate. Jonathan Ray also getting through, so Bulliger down to 6th place. Far from ideal for the championship contender.
Yeah, really good for Johnny as well to be able to make that start from 10th on the grid, so 8th effectively, to be able to get himself up into the top 5 and ahead of Bulliger. This is where we'll get to really see just how difficult it is to overtake, because Bulliger obviously has more pace than Ray over the course of the weekend so far, but is he going to be able to make the move easily?
First long lap penalty being served here by Andrea Iannone, darting to the outside line through turn 11, so that's going to cost him a lot in terms of track position. I'm a little bit surprised that he's served the first part of it as quickly as that. It's going to leave him a lot of riders to pass, whereas if he'd left it a couple of laps, he could have tried to rejoin in front of some of those lower order riders. Into lap 2 then, Razgatlioglu breaking 0.4 of a second away. Now we'll find out what passing's like at this Balaton Park circuit, because Sam Lowe's under braking into turn 1, wants to get down the inside of Andrea Locatelli. Nicolo Bulliger wants to make the pass on Jonathan Ray, and he's done so. So Bulliger recovers 1 position. He's now back up into 5th. The next target, his teammate Alvaro Bautista for P4.
Yeah, but look at the margin he's already given up to Toprak at this stage, 2 seconds behind the race leader. And he needs to try and just have that recovery zone now to make his progress. This is the move from Bulliger down in towards turn 1, and able to make it nice and clean, holds that tight line, and once you're able to hold that line, you're able to make the move and take control of the corner there. Ray does a good job to try and defend it, but Bulliger just has that little bit more than him.
for Sam Lowes to get alongside Andrea Locatelli. It is enough for Alex Lowes to attack Jonathan Rea. Can he get the motor stopped? The answer to that is no. Rea is back through, but Lowes will now have the inside line. Rea just closes the door. Good to see the typical combat from Jonathan Rea, but he is losing a lot of time to the riders in front of him and looks vulnerable to attack from behind. Nicolo Bulliga scrapping with Bautista as well. The two of them went side by side through the last shot, and Bulliga is in front of Alvaro Bautista now. That is fourth position, and what an important fourth place it is as well for Nicolo Bulliga. Looks as though they've cost themselves a little bit of time to Locatelli and Sam Lowes ahead. Sam Lowes still not able to get through on Locatelli as Bulliga runs wide into turn 1 at the start of lap number 4.
It's the move into 15 for Bulliga, and he's able to come through. Runs in a little bit hot. That's the risk you have at making the moves into these chicanes. That's where for Lowes it's through 7 and 8 to set the move up into turn 9. That's where he's able to stop the bike well on the angle.
Sam Lowes directly ahead of him. They come down this short straight towards turn number 5. Lowes this time is alongside Locatelli, smoking again as he tries to get the bike stopped, and finally Sam Lowes is through for second position. That's a crucial move at a quarter distance of race 1.
Let's see what his sector time is through the next sector as well. Last time around it was 23.3 for Lowes, so we'll see if he immediately finds a little bit of pace now that he's got that clear track. And tries to get the bike stopped into the first of the chicanes, and just about does there, but trying to give himself the chance to break away from Locatelli.
We know how good the Ducati is under acceleration. Sam Lowes made his pass on Andrea Locatelli for second here a lap ago. Nicolo Bulliga follows him through on lap number 6. So it's now Razgatlioglu leading ahead of Sam Lowes in second, Nicolo Bulliga third, and Andrea Locatelli down to 4th.
Yeah, and Bulliga now into P2, into P3, and with that chance to hunt down Lowes, and considering the Friday was really tough for Bulliga, couldn't get the bike stopped, finished in 8th in the combined times yesterday and 6th this morning, 4th on the grid, and they're running up in the podium spot. So good job by Bulliga to be able to give himself these opportunities, but you can see just how it's not easy to make the move into turn 5 there, and Locatelli was braking right on the limit. You can see he had a bit of a snap whenever he got on the brakes, just trying to get that bike stopped, but for Bulliga, he's done what he has to do.
Sam Lowes has come to grief from second position on lap 7 of race 1 here at Balaton Park after just setting a new personal best lap, faster than even race leader Toprak Razgatlioglu. Sam Lowes is out in race 1 of the Hungarian round.
And you can see for Toprak after the last lap, just giving himself that opportunity in the first 2 sectors and on course for fastest lap of the race. This is on board with Bulliga coming in towards turn 2. Let's have a look and see what we can see from Sam. It almost looks like a wet weather crash there, just the front just completely goes away, but that's a real shame for Lowes and for the Mark VDS team.
This is Jari Montella making his way through on Garrett Gerloff for 9th, and a 4-rider scrap 4P7, but we're going to have a duel, Locatelli versus Bautista for 3rd place by the end of lap 9. Here goes the first attempt from Alvaro Bautista. He's through on Locatelli, straight across his path to the outside even as he makes his way through, but somehow manages to get it back across, and that's a classic block pass from Alvaro Bautista, one that sees him into the podium positions on lap 9. This is the action further back. 3-rider scrap here for 7th. Jari Montella riding up the back of Jonathan Rea, and that's what's allowed Garrett Gerloff to come through into 9th. And I can tell you that since then, Gerloff has made his way through on Jonathan Rea as well, and Gerloff is now up into 8th place.
Yeah, you can see how everyone can trip over each other in these chicanes, and again, it's one of those situations, 3 bikes together, and suddenly you can find it where everyone ends up fighting for that same piece of asphalt.
Was that Jonathan Rea being very clever there, making his move to the outside, expecting Vierke to hold back the man on the inside, and tries to get the run around the outside, and it works out very nicely for him.
That's where the Yamaha works well. The Honda's good on the brakes, but Rea's going to attack.
That was brilliant. All the way around the outside from Jonathan Rea, knowing he'd have the inside for the next corner, and Jonathan Rea will not give in on this 7th position. It's quite clear that to some extent he seems to be outmatched. Vierke, Montella, Gerloff have been swarming all over the back of him, but Rea ended up in 9th. He's now back up to 7th, and Jari Montella will try to follow him through on Xavi Vierke at the start of lap 11, just forces his way down the inside at the end of that 668 metre straight back into turn 1 to start lap 11. Oh, down goes Jonathan Ray from 8th position on lap 15, and that's a real shame because Jonathan Ray was having an entertaining scrap with the likes of Xavi Vierke and Garrett Gerloff. He's gone down into turn 1.
Yeah, and we've seen that crash at turn 1 a few times this weekend across the classes, but for Ray, just trying to push on, give himself the chance that top 7 finish, and keeping Vierge behind him, but just difficult as well. Whenever you're trying to find that limit, you're trying to push that limit, and you just get caught out. But for Johnny, at least this is going to give him a lot of encouragement to have been able to get himself into a scrap.
Yes, we'll see it again here, Steve.
Just exactly what we've seen so many times this weekend for different riders in super sport and super bikes. The front just goes away from you, and it's one of those places where with the new track surfaces, you can end up with basically just floating to that same point, and yeah, Ray just gets caught out by it, but doesn't make a big mistake, but there's a big penalty.
Yeah, Jonathan Ray remounting down in 18th position out of the 19 riders. We see it from on board.
A little bit hot in the entry maybe for Ray there, but not by much, and then he's able to get the bike stopped, but just runs out of grip there, and you'd have to say it's not a big mistake that's been made, but it's a big penalty.
Danilo Petrucci alongside Alex Lowe's. This is for 5th position. Petrucci's got himself in hot trying to make that pass. Lowe's will gather it back up on the exit. Oh, Alex Lowe's must have got himself in a little bit hot there. Danilo Petrucci comes scything through. That's a shame after Lowe's defended himself so well initially for 5th position, but Petrucci is now clear in P5. Jonathan Ray again. Second spill in 2 laps for Ray. You wonder whether he had damage from the initial spill, but very rare for Jonathan Ray to come to grief like that for a second time, and this time he is down and out of race 1 in Balaton Park.
Yeah, and you can see there the disappointment for Ray now at this stage after that one. Let's see what happens in it, because it just happens quite early in the corner as well. There, turn 3 and 4 is the long left-hander where you're on the edge of the tyre all the way around, and does it just come around on Johnny? And he's off into the corner. Yeah, at least it's not too bad of a crash for Ray there. The bit of damage done to the bike, but you're always worried whenever you see riders stomping away from a corner like that.
There's been no matching Toprak Razgatlioglu. He makes his way through the final sector, and your inaugural winner here at the Balaton Park circuit will be Toprak Razgatlioglu. It's the 15th different circuit at which he's been victorious in WorldSBK. Second over the line, Nicolo Buliga drops 9 points back now in the championship standings with 2 races still remaining at this Hungarian round.